Hi, it's me, Teacher Jeanne. In this lesson, you will learn about multiplication of polynomials. Before we proceed, we need to recall the laws of exponents, which are very essential in this lesson. First, we have the product rule. Second, we have the quotient rule. Third, we have the power of a power. Fourth, we have the power of a product. Fifth, we have the zero exponents. And last, we have the negative exponents, which we already tackled in our previous lesson. Now, given the algebraic expression 2xy cubed, 2 is the numerical coefficients or the number in terms, xy cubed is the literal coefficients or the letter including exponent in terms, x and y are the variables or symbols or letters whose value is not fixed, and 3 is the exponent. Now, let's start with monomial by monomial. When multiplying two monomials, use the commutative and associative properties along with the laws of exponents. For you to understand, let's have the following examples. For letter A, we have given the quantity 5m squared times the quantity 3m. First, we're going to multiply the numerical coefficients 5 times 3. Then, on the literal coefficients, we are going to apply the product rule. We are going to copy the same base m, then add the exponent. So, we have m raised to 2 plus 1. Then, simplify, 5 times 3 is equal to 15 m cubed. For letter B, we have the quantity negative 2x squared y times negative 13. First, we're going to multiply the numerical coefficients negative 2 times negative 13. Now, as you notice, we have no common or same base on the variables. So, we just copy x squared y. Then, simplify negative 2 times negative 13 is equal to 26x squared y. For letter C, we have the quantity negative 6x cubed y squared times the quantity 9xy to the fourth. First, we're going to multiply the coefficients, the quantity negative 6 times 9. Then, on the literal coefficients, we are going to apply product rule. We copy the same base x, add the exponent 3 plus 1. Then, copy the same base y, add the exponent 2 plus 4. Simplify, negative 6 times 9 is equal to negative 54, x to the 4th, y to the 6th. For letter D, we have the quantity negative y to the 4th z times the quantity yz to the 5th. First, multiply the coefficients, negative 1 times 1. Then, copy the same base y, add the exponent 4 plus 1. Then, copy the same base z, add the exponent 1 plus 5. Then simplify, negative 1 times 1 is equal to negative 1. And no need to write it. So we have negative y to the 5th, z to the 6th. For letter E, we have the given negative 5a squared b squared times 3a cubed b squared times 6a to the 4th b cubed. First, multiply all the coefficients. We have the quantity negative 5 times 3 times 6. Then, copy the same base a, add the exponent 2 plus 3 plus 4. Then, copy the same base b, add the exponent 2 plus 2 plus 3. Then, simplify, negative 5 times 3 is equal to negative 15 times 6 is equal to negative 90, a to the 9th, b to the 7th. Next, let's proceed on polynomial by monomial. To multiply a polynomial by a monomial, use the distributive property. Its application results in monomials are being multiplied by another monomial. For you to understand, let's have the following examples. For letter A, we have negative 4x times the quantity 3x squared minus 5. Distribute negative 4x on the first term. We have negative 4x times the quantity 3x squared. Distribute negative 4x on the second term, we have negative 4x times the quantity negative 5. Then, multiply the numerical coefficients. Negative 4 times 3 is equal to negative 12. Then, copy the same base x, add the exponent 1 plus 2, we have 3. Then, multiply negative 4 times negative 5, we have positive 20. Then, copy x. So, the product is negative 12x cubed plus 20x. For letter B, we have the given 8 times the quantity 3g minus 4h plus 2i. First, distribute 8 to the first term. We have 8 times the quantity 3g. Distribute 8 to the second term. We have positive 8 times the quantity negative 4h. Distribute 8 on the third term, we have positive 8 times the quantity 2i. Then perform multiplication. 8 times the quantity 3g is equal to 24g. Positive 8 times the quantity negative 4h is equal to negative 32h. Positive 8 times 2i is equal to positive 16i. So the product is 24g minus 32h plus 16i. Next, for letter C, we have the given quantity 6x cubed plus 5xy minus 8y squared times 4x cubed y squared. Distribute the first term on the monomial. We have 6x cubed times the quantity 4x cubed y squared. Distribute the second term on the monomial. We have positive 5xy times the quantity 4x cubed y squared. Distribute the third term on the monomial. We have negative 8y squared times the quantity 4x cubed y squared. Then multiply the numerical coefficients. Then apply product rule on the literal coefficients. So we have 6 times 4 is equal to 24. Then copy the same base x. Add the exponent 3 plus 3, we have 6. Then copy y squared. 5 times 4 is equal to 20. Then copy the same base x. Add the exponent 1 plus 3, we have 4. Then copy the same base y. Add the exponent 1 plus 2, we have 3. Then multiply negative 8 times 4 is equal to negative 32. Copy x cubed. Then copy the same base y. Add the exponent 2 plus 2, we have 4. So the product is 24x to the 6 y squared plus 20x to the 4th y cubed minus 32x cubed y to the 4th. For letter D, we have 2a times the quantity 4a cubed minus 7a. So we have monomial times binomial. Distribute the first term. 2a on the first term, we have 2a times the quantity 4a cubed. Distribute 2a on the second term, we have positive 2a times the quantity negative 7a. Then multiply the numerical coefficients. Then on the literal coefficients, apply product rule. So 2 times 4 is equal to 8. Copy the same base a. Add the exponent 1 plus 3, we have 4. Then multiply 2 times negative 7 is equal to negative 14. Copy the same base a. Then add exponent 1 plus 1, we have 2. So the product is 8a to the 4th minus 14a squared. Now let's have binomial by binomial. Here, we are going to use the FOIL method. Given the quantity 2a plus 3 times the quantity a plus 5. Multiply the first terms, we have 2a times a, and that is 2a squared. Multiply the outer terms, we have 2a times 5, and that is equal to 10a. Multiply the inner terms, we have 3 times a, and that is equal to 3a. Multiply the last terms, we have 3 times 5, and that is equal to 15. Then combine similar terms. 10a plus 3a is equal to 13a. Then write the product obtained. We have 2a squared plus 13a plus 15. For another method, let's use distributive property. Given the quantity 2a plus 3 times the quantity a plus 5, distribute the first term 2a to each term of the second binomial. So first, we have 2a times a. Next, we have 2a times the second term 5. Then distribute the second term 3 to each term of the second binomial. So we have 3 times the first term a, then 3 times the second term 5. Then perform multiplication. 2a times a is equal to 2a squared. 2a times 5 is equal to 10a. 3 times a is equal to 3a, and 3 times 5 is equal to 15. Then combine similar terms. So we have 2a squared plus, add the numerical coefficient 10 plus 3 is equal to 13. Then copy the variable a plus 15. So the product is 2a squared plus 13a plus 15. Now let's try another given using the FOIL method. We have the quantity 8x minus 1 times the quantity x minus 2. Multiply the first terms. We have 8x times x. Multiply the outer terms. We have 8x times negative 2. Multiply the inner terms. We have negative 1 times x. Multiply the last terms. We have negative 1 times negative 2. Now as you notice, we write the solution in horizontal horizontal form. Then perform multiplication. 8x times x is equal to 8x squared. 8x times negative 2 is equal to negative 16x. Negative 1 times x is equal to negative x. Negative 1 times negative 2 is equal to positive 2. Then combine similar terms. So we have 8x squared plus, add the numerical coefficients, negative 16 plus negative 1. So the product is 8x squared minus 17x plus 2. Now let's use distributive property in multiplying again the quantity 8x minus 1 times the quantity x minus 2. Distribute the first term 8x to each term of the second binomial. So first we have 8x times x, then we have 8x times negative 2. Then distribute the second term negative 1 to each term of the second binomial. So we have negative 1 times x, then we have negative 1 times negative 2. Then perform multiplication. 8x times x is equal to 8x squared. 8x times negative 2 is equal to negative 16x. Negative 1 times x is equal to negative x. And negative 1 times negative 2 equals positive 2. Then combine similar terms. So we have 8x squared plus, add the numerical coefficients. So negative 16 plus negative 1 is equal to negative 17x plus 2. So the product is 8x squared minus 17x plus 2. Now as you notice, using the FOIL method and distributive property, we come up the same answer. Now let's have another one. Using the FOIL method, given the quantity 3m plus 4p times the quantity 5m minus 8p. Multiply the first terms, we have 3m times the quantity of 5m, and that is equal to 15m squared. Multiply the outer terms, we have 3m times the quantity negative 8p, and that is equal to negative 24mp. And multiply the inner terms, we have 4p times the quantity 5m, and that is equal to 20mp. And multiply the last terms, we have 4p times the quantity negative 8p, and that is equal to negative 32p squared. Then combine similar terms, negative 24mp plus 20mp. We are going to subtract and follow the sign of the larger absolute value. So the result is negative 4mp. Then write all the results. We have the product 15m squared minus 4mp minus 32p squared. Now here we write the solution in vertical form. Now take note, FOIL method is only applicable in multiplying binomials by binomials. But in multiplying polynomials by polynomials, we are going to use distributive property. So let's have the given, the quantity 3x minus 2 times the quantity x squared minus 5x plus 6. So we have the given binomial times trinomial. Distribute the first term 3x to each term of the trinomial. So we have 3x times x squared. Next, we have 3x times the second term, negative 5x. Next, we have 3x times the third term, 6. Then, distribute negative 2 to each term of the trinomial. So, we have negative 2 times the first term, x squared. Then, negative 2 times the second term, quantity negative 5x. Then, negative 2 times the third term, positive 6. Then, perform multiplication. 3x times x squared is equal to 3x cubed. 3x times the quantity negative 5x is equal to negative 15x squared. 3x times 6 is equal to positive 18x. Negative 2 times x squared is equal to negative x squared. So as you can see, we align the common or similar terms. When we say similar, they have the same base and same exponent. Then negative 2 times the quantity negative 5x is equal to positive 10x. And for the last, negative 2 times 6 is equal to negative 12. Then proceed on addition. So bring down 3x cubed, then add negative 15x squared plus negative 2x squared. We add the numerical coefficient, then copy the literal coefficient x squared. So we obtain negative 17x squared. Then add 18x plus 10x, that is equal to positive 18x. Then bring down negative 12. So we have the product 3x cubed minus 17x squared plus 18x minus 12. Now let's try to write the solution in horizontal form. Given the quantity 4m plus 3 times the quantity m squared plus 2m minus 3. First, multiply 4m times the trinomial quantity m squared plus 2m minus 3. Then, multiply the second term 3 times the trinomial m squared plus 2m minus 3. Then, use distributive property, we are going to distribute the monomial 4m to each term of the trinomial. So, we have 4m times the first term m squared is equal to 4m cubed. 4m times the second term 2m, that is equal to 8m squared. Multiply 4m times the third term negative 3, that is equal to negative 12m. Then, distribute the second term 3 to each term of the trinomial. So, 3 times m squared is equal to 3m squared. 3 times the second term 2m is equal to 6m. Then, 3 times the third term negative 3 is equal to negative 9. Then, combine similar terms. So, we just copy 4m cubed. Then, combine 8m squared plus 3m squared is equal to 11m squared. Then, combine negative 12m plus 6m. Adding unlike sign, we are going to subtract then follow the sign of the larger absolute value. So, the result is negative 6m. Then, we just copy negative 9. So, the product we obtain is 4m cubed plus 11m squared minus 6m minus 9. Now, let's try to write the solution in vertical form. Given the quantity 2x minus 1 times the quantity 3x squared plus 2x plus 1. First, we're going to write the trinomial 3x squared plus 2x plus 1 on the first row and write the binomial 2x minus 1 on the second row. Then proceed on multiplication. Multiply first 2x to each term of the trinomial. So we have 2x times 3x squared is equal to 6x cubed. Multiply 2x times the second term 2x is equal to 4x squared. Then multiply 2x times 1 is equal to 2x. Now let's proceed on the second term of the binomial. Multiply negative 1 times the first term 3x squared is equal to negative 3x squared. Now again, we align the similar terms. Then multiply negative 1 times the second term 2x. So we have negative 2x. Then multiply negative 1 on the third term, positive 1, we have negative 1. Then proceed on addition. So bring down 6x cubed, then add. Unlike sign, we are going to subtract, then follow the sign of the larger absolute value. So the result is positive 1x squared. And no need to write 1. Then 2x plus negative 2x, that is equal to 0. Then bring down negative 1. So the product is 6x cubed plus x squared minus 1. Now it's your turn to eat yourself. Find the product. Don't forget to comment down below your answers. Happy learning! Thanks for watching. Please like and share. And don't forget to subscribe on my channel and click the bell button so that you will be notified whenever I'm going to upload a new one. Maraming salamat!